damn life. I'm joined by another compassionate crazy. 4 years of being in radical love, enough for a undergrad degree in hell
Oh hell.
and full hell and full heaven at the same time. My fabulous co-host that has joined us since the beginning of this product, Tara Praolo. Tell people who you are and where, what you're doing in the world, and yes, who you are.
Yes. It's who you are. We haven't done that song in a second. Who I am. It's who I
Love you.
am.
Yes, yes. I'll bring it
I'm
back.
loved by you. Anyway, um,
Just
I'm
email the musical director. The email might bounce, but if you email the musical director, he may add it to the upcoming shows. I love you. Tara is a good Judy of mine who lives over 900 miles away. I'm reaching
yeah,
over people within 900-mile radius to create love with Tara every day and for the last 4 years. And she knows the nitty gritty about flow. But she's an incredible teacher and lover of humanity, and I'm thrilled to always co-present. Who are you in your own words?
I'm Tara Priolo. I am your resident white. No, that's the wrong intro. I'm your resident black biracial multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do
Biracials can shift, y'all.
the
They can shape
thing.
shift.
Listen, I saw this post this morning that was like, it was like, what did it say? It said like, um, why don't biracial people claim that they're white instead of trying to claim that they're black? Like, I was like, what? What is wrong with you people? Anyway, like first you're all gonna get so uppity about the fact that we ain't claiming our blackness. Then you're gonna get uppity that we're not claiming the whiteness. But then you're gonna get mad that we claimed the whiteness. It's a whole
Girl,
nine yards.
I'm
I
so
did
grateful
not
that you claim yourself. I'm so grateful that you claim yourself.
right. Like I am who I am, y'all. I didn't pick my parents. I didn't pick my skin color. I didn't pick my genitalia. I didn't pick my face.
Come on,
Sure didn't.
genitalia.
Same as you. Same as you, y'all. We're all the same. Anyway, we would love
And by the way, folks,
biracial.
don't send me no messages. Even if you did pick your genitalia, we would still love you and mind our fucking business.
We would. We would. Uh, and whatever genitalia you have and whatever uh, are if you're monoracial, biracial, multiracial, purple, pink, blue, yellow, whatever you are, we would love to have you on the podcast. We met who we hope is going to be on the podcast someday soon in a clubhouse room this week. So hopefully her name will go in that little slot very soon as a guest. And we would also love you, if you're listening out there, to come on and stop by and tell us of all your what you're paying attention to in the world.
It would be awesome. We would love to see you. We are honest, open, willing, and available to talk with anybody who wants to put the vibration of hope and love and freedom. You're going to see a theme that runs through our show today. It runs through all of our shows. It is freedom for ourselves and freedom for others. We'll push forward into the slide here to make good of time. Doesn't go anywhere. She just wants to talk
It
about
doesn't go anywhere. I screenshotted the caption, and I've seen this going around threads. I saw it first from Bernice, which I always think this is Bernice A. King, like a king, and I just think that's like the most trans affirming thing in the world. But anyway, it's Bernice A. King, like Martin Luther King's kid. Okay. Anyway, so this is a picture for those of you that aren't listening to us on a video platform, and it's a picture of a young looking person who is holding a sign that says Flint, Michigan has been without water since April 24th, 2014. And for those of you that are bad at math, like me sometimes, that means 11 years we have been talking about this. 11 whole years. And the caption says, "Another year, another picture. This is absolutely shameful and a humanitarian crisis in Flint and other U.S. towns and cities. What is the action plan to care for the people of Flint?" And then it has some more things like what is happening in Flint. And I brought it because I mean, it feels like we've been talking about Flint forever. but it also doesn't feel like it's been 11 years of talking about Flint. Um, and I think we need to just lift it into the and how it's all connected, right? Like there, Flint is probably not getting clean water when we have a regime that is kidnapping people. Probably,
Every
probably
week, every week we talk about the ruling class and those who resemble them. The ruling class and those who resemble them. We talk about how they get to cherry pick around life.
right, right.
I don't have it up right now, but I'll pull it in for whenever I can. I just have to go digging for it. The Huffington Post senior political reporter asked the buffoon in chief to his face, "Do you have any regret about lying to the American public for the last?" Here it is.
All the lying you've done to the American people. On
All the what?
everything. All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of
Yeah,
thousands.
go ahead, please. Please. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask about the payroll tax.
Please.
Mr. President, after 3.5 years, do you regret at all the lying you've done to the American people? On
All the what?
everything. All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of
Yeah,
thousands.
go ahead, please. Please. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask about the payroll tax.
Please.
So this is aiding and abetting the bullshit. The brown man who had access to the throne asked a very clear and direct question. There was no answer. It was a pivot to another ruling class looking ass person who then talked about what the system of oppression wants us to talk about. And nobody cherry picks better than those who resemble the ruling class. So that's the issue. As I spit my oatmeal into the floor on my set, that is the issue that we're talking about. The reason why Flint, Michigan still doesn't have any water is because people who, I don't know how they go to bed. I don't know how ruling class people and those who resemble them and those who align with them, I don't know how the fuck y'all sleep at night. I really don't. Because to know that someone in your community is without water and to do nothing to help their human needs is nuts to me. But this is why I say that ruling class people and those who resemble them have an empathy problem. They can see you suffering. They can even create your suffering. Those conditions in Flint were created by someone who resembles ruling class. And the money being tilted in weird ways to not allow the infrastructure to be rebuilt for people to get water. Pipes have to get removed. Things have to be replaced. I used to work in engineering, consulting, marketing, business development sector. But we talked about water. Clean water, brown water, gray water. Water is a big deal, not just on my Sims video game, but in real life to people. And the fact that these so-called superior people, superior people cannot figure out how to get adequate water to a group of individuals for 11 years, it strikes as a falsehood. My Threads rant will be what I covered just now with Mr. SV Date giving Trump the business. Of all of those adults roaming around the White House, only one mofo had the cojones to speak a real question. We're all adults here, and only some of us are saying the ish that nobody else wants to say. And some of us are pushing others to do the same, and some of us are sitting on our ass. We say this every week. We're about to go into this political news. Whatever you're doing right now, and Tara and I, sometimes we fight each other, sometimes we fight ourselves, sometimes both are happening at the same time, child. Tune into those
We fight ourselves a lot.
a
A
lot.
lot. A lot.
And then that overflow comes
Right.
into our relationship.
Fighting each other.
For sure. By the time I'm fighting Paolo, I've already given myself at least 3 or 4 good left hooks, you know?
That part.
And that's, we say hurt people. That's not an excuse for bad behavior. That's just like, we have to understand what we're going through together.
Together. I also don't know why I put that's Piper's new thing too. Piper sits in the chair and they go.
Yes, you've been a rock, baby.
Every time you do uh oh, it's one of your finales, not the Window of Hope.
My life, the one that
No, dancing. Dancing. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, you've turned my morning.
Yes, Piper goes.
Dancing. It's calypso. It's very under the sea. It's very under the
Piper
sea.
hears it and goes.
Listen, we must preserve that joy always. We must preserve the joy of the babies. We must preserve our
so
inner
cute.
children's joy. Watching the innocence of baby Piper and how they are taking in life and learning life in real time makes me acutely aware that we are picking up ideas and vibrations and beliefs our entire lives. And in the words of our great ancestor Maya Angelou, the words have power, and they are in our clothes, and they're on our skin, and they're in our earrings, and they're in our headphones. The words of love, and the words of hope, and the words of anger, and the words of fear, they really do get on us. And because those words have power, that's why I salute Mr. Date, because of all of the hundreds of people maintaining that power structure. And he took a gamble. Every time someone speaks up for what's right, Tara and I, every time we come out here on live, we're not special in the eyes of the universe. But every time we come out on live and say ceasefire now or end all of this Zionist bullshit, we are putting our careers and our livelihoods and our connections to these institutions on the line. And of course, in the words of Iyanla Vanzant, I want to get off the titty. I want to be off of the establishment's titty. I don't want to be beholden to white people in any way. I will graciously receive the abundance of restorative justice and reparations. You can gladly put your money in the purple buckets that pass at the love experience, but we're not kissing ass, which is one of our earlier episodes anymore, because they really are harming people. And only one guy yesterday or day before yesterday in the White House press corps told it like it is. And we need more adults who will tell it like it is. We got to push forward, y'all, because we're on. We're moving. It's on you, Paolo. 2-year-old U.S. citizen deported with no meaningful process, judge suspects. A federal judge in Louisiana said the deportation of the child to Honduras with her mother, even though her father had filed an emergency petition, appeared to be illegal and unconstitutional. Can you read that, though?
Yeah, so I brought these two underneath political news, which was supposed to have my Bitmoji on it, but like whatever. Because I think these, like, we can talk about some of the crazy stuff that's going on, you know, like we can, and there was so much this week. There was the RFK Jr. stuff about autism. There was the, there were some more transgender bans, whatever that means. You can't ban a human. That's weird. But anyway, these stories are the ones that, like, they happened Thursday and Friday. So yeah, so a 2-year-old was deported with their mother, a legal citizen of the United States, because they were born here, right? Was deported without any kind of
Oh.
due process. And Dr. Flo, I saw you post into the DJ chat that we have over on WhatsApp a video, and I can't remember who it was by. Cheryl, was that her name?
Girl
Cheryl.
iPhone. A law
About
professor at Harvard, Harvard Law School. I'm sorry, Howard Law School.
yeah, about that was very Canadian. A boot.
Yeah, rubbing off on you.
About due process. And so if you're in our WhatsApp community, and we'll try to drop the link somewhere else as well, and you can probably find it on Dr. Flo's threads about due process. But there was no meaningful, you see it in the headline of this, meaningful process. And this small child was deported. And then the second story, which both of these stories are the stories that I'm like, I understand why all of you don't care about the autism comments. I understand why all of you don't care about the transgender bans. I think you all could care about more. But these stories are really bad, you guys. So the second story says federal authorities have arrested a Wisconsin judge and a former New Mexico judge in two separate cases, accusing them of interfering with Trump administration immigration enforcement efforts. Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge Hannah Duggan was arrested Friday morning and charged with obstruction. She is accused of helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest by U.S. Immigration and Customs enforcement officers after he appeared in her courtroom on April 18th. And I've seen some threads going around that are like, you know, it has the list of people who had judges arrested, and it includes Hitler, Stalin, Lenin, like people like this. And I posted a thread, or I reposted a thread that said something about, it said essentially the same thing, but it only mentioned Hitler. And I did an eye roll emoji because I have been saying since 2014 or whenever he ran the first time, how much like Hitler he was going to be. But we're not supposed to draw that comparison. But now you've got these two cases, a 2-year-old. I just need y'all, a 2-year-old. This is not like a teenager. This is not even someone that can talk. Kidnapped from the United States, a legal citizen of the United States. A legal citizen of the United States. And then you got judges arrested. That is, we talked about it last week. Fascism has been here, and if the bell is not ringing yet, y'all, I don't know how you're going to get it to ring for yourself. I
think what's going to be the most annoying for me is watching the people who were not paying attention or pretending not to pay attention wake up in the next 10 to 20 years. They're going to have a moment of reckoning. And it's going to be like no more time. Like, I'm not going to be in a nanny boo boo kind of moment, because by the time it hits the fan for the people who are the Walking Dead, we're going to eventually have incredible crises. And it's nuts to me. There's a gentleman named Charles McNair who's in a North Carolina prison. He's been there for 44 years for allegedly raping a 56-year-old white woman when he was 16, 14. I need to get the article back up and refresh my knowledge. But he was a minor who was taken advantage of by a 56-year-old lady in this town. And instead of getting fair sentencing, he is serving a life sentence plus 10 years for a crime that does not have a police report attached. Very nefarious judges and prosecutors were involved, and no one, including the people who support him in his efforts to get out, can really tell the same story twice.
Correct.
I see these folks at Aldi in town. They call me and then become unresponsive. Very interesting advocacy. What I will say about justice for Charles McNair is that he deserves his freedom. and we all deserve freedom. So the only reason why I haven't removed this slide from the deck, which is always available, because the people who are supporting him don't really support me, but I am a fan of freedom, and I'm a fan of justice, and I'm a fan of liberation, especially for people who have been mistreated under broken systems. And he's one of like 30 people in the state who the governor, Josh Stein, I'm currently based in North Carolina. He's another cherry picker. He will go for the photo op and put his shovel in the dirt and cut the cord for a new building, but he does not care about the man who's making 30 cents a day in the prison. Because Charles cleaning the prison for 30 cents a day makes them look good when the people come in to see the cleanliness of the prison, and they could be giving that job to someone in the community for a living wage and then letting Charles out. But systems maintain themselves in these ways, and so that's why I speak to this. Tara, quickly, what say you about Charles this week?
I say roughly the same thing every week. And I'm going to connect it. Well, maybe I'll do it a little different today. I'm going to connect it to the kidnapping and disappearing and deportation of people today, which is that, like, even if he did it, he does not deserve this. Even if an immigrant, a person who has immigrated here, because y'all, when we call people immigrants, we're dehumanizing them. Like, that's like it. Just call
Trying
people,
to act like they don't belong in their
right,
body, in the location, in the ground they're standing on.
Yeah, you're othering
Your
them.
nose.
You're othering them.
Okay.
And the earth was not meant to be divided into countries, okay? But anyway, it doesn't matter if those people commit crimes. They still do not deserve to be disappeared from the United States. In the same way that even if Charles committed this crime, even if he committed this crime, he still does not deserve to be sitting in jail for 45 years with his body being exploited by the state. He still does not deserve that. And it's a weird, I put this on Thread somewhere this week, but some of y'all tie yourselves into knots justifying the violence of the state and the violence that you believe needs to be enacted in order to get the new world. That is a weird thing. And is very specific to United States. Like, the fact that y'all believe that there can't be a revolution without people being exploited and harmed is just reinforcing the oppressive forces. That's a tool of the oppressor, right? There was a famous quote, and I think it was Tamika D. Mallory that went out during the George Floyd uprisings, and she said to the white people in the crowd, "We learned violence from you."
Mm-hmm.
From you.
From you.
And I've never forgotten that. And I've never forgotten Kimberly's video. I reposted that on TikTok the other day. Like, just things like this. So, long story short, y'all, none of these people deserve that. Punitive society is gross and weird. And we can dream and imagine. And actually, we can create right now a world beyond that. And we can email and call and bug Josh Klein to do the right thing. You know? So that's what I have to say on Charles McNear today.
Ceasefire now always, folks. Ceasefire now always. In our hearts, in our minds, in our energies one to another, in our relationships, in our marriages, in our relationships to our kids. Ceasefire now. We're tired, some of us, of being at war with ourselves and other people. And this is a moment in the consciousness of the planet, the collective consciousness of the planet, where we could choose to vibe higher than our internal warfare. That we could choose to vibe higher than our external warfare and choose something different. And so I know that it's kind of hard when you have so much internal strife to see even an opportunity for peace beyond yourself. But we gotta hold that, and we gotta hold it right now.
Agreed. That's just under the same thing: free Congo, free Sudan, and free Palestine, and all the rest. All the rest.
Oh wow! So the Love Academy is still in full effect. We are currently attracting people who want to grow in the areas of social media, digital design, vocal performance, public speaking. Maybe you are struggling out with stage fright because a lot of people are not speaking up for what is right in society because they're afraid of being seen. Tara and I joke privately about a lady who, at one point in the pandemic, didn't want to come to my live stream singing performances because she didn't have her wig on. And I'm like, girl, I can't see you through the internet. But a lot of people have stage fright because they think that people can actually see them. There's some mental health situations going on in there. Next month is Mental Health Awareness Month. We'll talk about how we can't see you in your wig in the house, girl. And hopefully lead you to some tools to make that real for you. But the Academy and the Love Revival is still in full swing. There's a love revival that is trying to break out in the hearts of everybody on the planet, and we're the only ones standing in its way. And I cannot wait to work with the Khan Academy and other resources to develop a curriculum of learning for kids where they can be in an environment of storytelling, in a freedom of expression that allows them to move from their I am. You know, we are adults who over the last couple of years in this network, thanks to the House of Mommy Water, may they be blessed, learned about how to move from our I am into I feel, into I do, into I love, into I speak, into I see, into I understand. And going week by week through those cycles of understanding and grounding moments is something that's powerful to give to the next generation. So I cannot wait to take kids through the 7-day chakra challenge. Had a hard time like sneezing it out there. But I cannot wait to like take people through something that is more grounding than any of what I received in many different levels of my training. My musical training was a bit restrictive and constrictive. My religious training for sure was restrictive and constrictive. I think that teaching the next generation and the older generations of people that they're loved and lovable no matter what, and then giving them the tools to tell their stories and to journal and to raise the vibration of hope in themselves, big thing that I want to do here. Tara, what is your favorite feature these days of the Love Revival, the Love Experience, and just kind of hanging around? You are in every rehearsal almost. You are riding the wave day in and day out of what we're building within the network and outside of the network to make this this a reality. What say you about my crazy antics to let 800,000 people know a year that they're loved and lovable?
I think there's two things that I would say. Number one is that I think it's closer than it has ever been. Like, I think the tour and the band and like the live performances, I think it's closer than it's ever been. So now is a great time to jump in to do some bro marketing. But I think the other thing that I love about even the process of the Love Experience and like building it and getting the set list and da 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 is how much it inspires others into their creativity, their joy, and their love. And Angie, I'm gonna talk about you, girl. I'm gonna talk about you for a second because I love you. Angie is a person in our community who has come in and like staged the Love Experience, child. She's not a quote unquote theater person. She sends the wigs, she sends the capes, she says fireworks now. She wants the aerial divers, you know, she wants love and lovable tattooed on her body, you know. And so like I really have enjoyed watching people like Angie that have come into the community. Angie's just the first reach because she's around as often as I am. And Lady Diva. And so I really love what the Love Experience, even in the planning phase, has done for unlocking other people's creativity and love. And it's done the same thing for Poppy Wada. It's done the same thing for like I said, for Angie. I'm sure for Deb, as Deb gets to know the org a little bit more, and more and beyond, you know? So
People need to be encouraged, equipped, and empowered more and more daily to let their stories breathe. We are so committed to letting like a great, for those of you who are of age, like a great red Malbec.
oh
Or
boy.
pop it. Huh, I'm sorry?
I said, oh boy.
Yeah, you don't like Malbec?
I don't
Pinot Noir?
I don't like red.
Oh my gosh. A good Beaujolais Village for me? Kyle. Is a good time. So yes, we let the red wines breathe. Those of us who are connoisseurs and consumers, and we want your stories to do the same in our network. No one should come in unexpressed. Your words have power, and we can't wait to hear more about them. We're currently working on Adopt a Black Artist program. This is I hate when I start an article and then the next word starts with the vowel because then I have to correct. It is an opportunity. It's not a opportunity. It's an opportunity, but I already committed. And I could have sworn it like it is a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens. To support someone who's going through an experience that may be different than yours. The first experience is to be melanated here, is to be almost made invisible from time to time in the cherry picking of life. And then to be an artist is to be feeling all of these different emotions and trying to put them into all of these different mediums that we do. Very unique expression and human path. And so it can get lonely feeling yourself at the intersection of what it means to be Black and an artist. And so we've decided to not just stand around and wait for people to do something about it. We are working on a directory and networking and opportunities for people to stand fully in their identities. And so if you're out there under the sound of our voices and you are Black and you're an artist and you feel like you may be being made invisible by institutions and principalities and wickedness in high places, just know that we are a humble community ready to serve you, and we will put all of our energies behind helping your dream come true. We are top 2 and 1% dreamers in this space, and if we're working on our dreams and seeing the manifestations,
Bless you.
thank you. The manifestations of our dreams are coming true. Like Tara and I are seeing people come to us daily that are aligned with where we want to go. Last night at the worst time possible, the service line opened up, and we're choosing to serve even in the hardship that we're going through, even in our own anxiety and depression. That doesn't make we're not special, even though we are all special. But in the midst of the difficulty, we're still saying, how can I help you do better? And we're also assembling a team of people who want to do it at the professional level, including profit sharing and money-making opportunities. So fill out an application on the website. Tara is blackening the canon. I'm going to step back so she can tell you about one of her recent passion projects in her studio.
Yeah, so Dr. Flo mentioned it. It happened at the worst time, but all is well. All is well. Everything is working out for our highest good, and it's going to cause a rolling down the hill, and realizing in the space that I am an expert on this and I can help with this. And so anyway, blackening the canon right now looks like my 2 albums, one coming very soon as I meet with Poppy Wata and get the album cover done. I really wanted a Black person to do the album art outside of myself. So Poppy Wada is doing that for me. But it is also a chat on WhatsApp. So it's a group chat. We had somebody come in last night, and actually a couple people asked, and there was a person that asked before as well, because I had posted something about singing Black arias. Like, are you walking into audition rooms and singing Black arias? And so a whole bunch of people wanted to know about Black arias. And as luck would have it, I do know a lot of people's voices. I'm familiar with them, and I can sort of send them different directions of different composers to help out with that. And we have found a bit of a database that someone else put together. And I'm excited to continue to make those resources for you all about finding the sheet music, finding the resources, programming it. Even if you can't, like, there is one thing, and I haven't talked about this in the group and I haven't talked about it in public, but like, if sometimes you have to be the one to transcribe it, because a lot of this music is lost. It's lost to time. It is created orally in the oral tradition of African music, y'all, call and response, that kind of way, in particular spirituals. So there is, on my upcoming album, there is a transcription done by me of a arrangement Kathleen Battle sang. So anyway, this is where the direction of that group is going to continue to go as more people join. And so right now it's free of cost. It's free of cost. You just come on in and have a conversation. And that is both for if you're interested in classical music. We're focusing on vocal music and classical music right now, but hopefully that will continue to expand into having instrumentalists come in the room and having musical theater people and having, you know, all of these people coming together in order to make a coalition that is programming and creating and performing Black music.
Blackety black.
Blackety black.
Always worthy. Always been worthy. Is worthy. Always going to be worthy. If you're out there and you're feeling worthy in your creativity and your passion and your talent and you're honest, open, willing, and available, I would love to have you audition for me. I'm coming to a city near you this year and in the next 10 years to come. I want to touch all of the spaces that want to touch me, darling. And so if you're out there and you want to be featured as a variety act or a featured talent in the Love Experience featuring Dr. Flo, just drop an audition and application at our website, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. I'm also taking on a small batch of clients in the areas of life coaching and also the voice. I can teach you how to use your voice. Even on a flimmy day, like today, I'm still able to say you are loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. And sometimes what you got to say is a technical concern. Like, I just need to place my voice differently as I'm talking now to make it happen. Sometimes it's an emotional concern where you just don't feel good about yourself enough to speak up, or you don't feel good enough about yourself to just let yourself have the music. And that's how I help people every day, 7 days a week, really, alongside Tara in my studio, in our academy. This is how we teach people to release their voice. Tara and Tara Praolo Studio does this amazing work around releasing the entanglements that people have placed on their creativity. And then after she's released the entanglements and helps you get a healthy mindset and help you get the tools and the foundation and the rituals of vocal performance to help you ground your voice, then you come into spaces with me where we start to kick the door down on stage fright. And all of the lions, tigers, and bears that go bump in the night that keep you from asking for a pay raise, that keep you from singing your song, that keep you from saying your poetry on the internet. Everybody wants to be loved and everybody wants to express themselves. And week after week in our studios, collectively and individually, we teach you how to use your voice for good. And it's a thrill. It is a thrill to be in partnership in this life with someone like Tara Praolo Studio, who's having an ADHD stemming moment by herself, y'all. I don't know what the hell she's singing.
You had a cue. I was singing, all you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. love. All you need is love.
Is that your closing thought? All you need is
That's it.
love.
That's it. Y'all get a song a week from me.
Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for holding space for Love Daily. Thank you to our donors and our sponsors, our friends, families, and fans who are supporting this wonderful work. It was 40 minutes of awesome this week. We're here every week doing Love and Action Network, Deconstruction Junction. We're pulling apart religion and governments and institutions and ruling class people and the news and all kinds of things that we should be talking about. We don't shit on each other in this network, but would you consider deconstructing your own life and sharing parts of your discovery process with your family and friends in the ways that we do? We are so thrilled to be a positive example in the best ways we can. We're not perfect people, but we are certainly here to be loved and lovable to each other and to walk each other home. So on behalf of Terra Part Olo Studio, myself, Andre and the Flow, Poppy Water 33, and all of our fabulous producers, donors, and sponsors here at Love and Action Network, we invite you today to stay in your power. Stay in your joy, Vanna White, and stay loved and lovable. We'll see you very, very soon as we tape tomorrow's release and then also share more with the network. Take care, everybody. Stay awesome. Yes. Can I bow, Val? Can I buy a vowel?